What's up, guys? This is Dave from T-Bovin. Back from the dead. It's been a minute since I posted any sort of deck profile on my channel. As soon as I saw Giant Ballpark when it first initially got released, I got super hyped. Finally, some good insect support. Saw some like Lithium's profiles, the early profiles where it was Shaddolls with Goki and Giant Ballpark, and I was like, oh, that's a really good engine to get to Goki. But there should be other ways, and what else can I add? And you guys know me, I'm known for some unique deck building. For example, I created the field spell deck, and then when I top with Subterra Zoo. So I'm used to like trying to think outside of the box. So whenever I see a new archetype come out, I look up, for example, insects. I look at every single insect and see what every effect does, see what's good, see what could go with this. So this is what I came up with after like a lot of testing, a lot of deck building, and I think this is the best deck, the best version of this deck that I could think of. So I just want to showcase what I have for you guys. So obviously the best card in the deck is going to be Goki. This card lets you add a level 4 insect. If you add a level 4 normal, then you get an additional effect of special summoning that normal, and you get to non-targeting pop your opponent's monster that has more attack than the card you added and special. So to get to that, and you only need two to get to that, I'm going to show you the starter cards I use. 3 Mathematician. Math is broken. It's literally like any out in your deck, and I'll show you the different cards to play as well. One of the outs would be Farfa for an annoying monster. I also play an accompany tour guide with that because you just want as many starter plays that you can get to Goki. So Math sends Goki. This sends Goki because I'm playing Cherubini, and also another rank 3 engine that I'm playing to start that off is a Terratop. Any way to get to Cherubini is a way to access your insect engine, and so I just utilize the whole rank 3 engine Math from Shaddolls, just like looking at all the ways to get as consistently to Goki. And accompanying the Goki, you play 3 beaters. So 3 Insect Knight is the highest attack beater that we have at the moment. This should be the only normal that you play. I could see people playing like one Goki, for example, the level 3 insect. Just for Mathematician plays, Math could send Goki, add Goki and special it, pop, and then you overlay or link to level 3s. You could do that, but I think this is the most consistent. You don't want as many bricks in your deck. And then going off after that, another insect I looked up was conveniently Danger Mothman. So we're playing a lot of dangers in this deck. It helps you get to your main starter plays and Giant Ballpark. But you could add Mothman off of Goki if you already have other plays that you want to go. So I think that's a really good addition to the insect archetype, was just Mothman happening to be insect. Along with and this is a going second deck, by the way. So I'm playing 2 Bigfoot. Bigfoot's actually really good out to a lot of things going second. It's just a beat stick, and if I happen to miss, or I could even use just discard effects just to pop things off the field. I'll explain other plays later as well. So we have 2 Nessie, 2 Jackalope, and just 1 Tsuchinoko. I think it's the perfect danger lineup for this deck. Just helps you just keep going, keep playing through boards. I honestly think this deck could play through every single like triple negate boards that Guard Dragons make. I haven't had any problems with big boards with this deck, so I feel really confident going second. Another reason why would be Kaijus. I'm only playing 3 Kaijus. You could play like 1 more, but I found that this is fine. These 2 are insects, which is awesome. The reason why I'm fine playing these, because you could recycle this off the Insector link. So you could always have an insect, you could always have Kaiju targets, especially when you have Slumber. So I'm playing 2 Pankratops. Pankratops is broken going second, obviously, but there's 2 different ways I could get to Pankratops besides hard drawing him, which is awesome. I play the field spell that I could banish from the graveyard to summon him from deck. So I'll show the other reasons why I have this guy, but no matter what, he's broken, but I could consistently get to him as well. Then for the Shaddolls I'm playing, I'm just going to play 1 Beast and 1 Dragon. Dragons, I'm almost always sending a dragon just off of a mathematician, which is really nice. It's really nice to have toolbox. Any deck that I play and try to create, I usually try to have a toolbox aspect to it. So I think this deck has the most outs and most unique ways to out different boards that I've ever seen a deck. Like, this is one of my like strongest decks that I've ever made, I think, in my opinion. There's so many different ways to get around things, and I'll pull aside the pieces that I'll show you later. But speaking of one of them, it's going to be Tackle Crusader. So it's an Earth that I could send off of Math. So Math could dump Crusader, and Crusader can flip down your opponent's monster to face down defense position, or it could bounce face up Spoiler Trap my opponent controls. So this is a 2-in-1 type of thing. I get to pick and choose. I also send this off of Shekanaga sometimes when I could send Dragon and Crusader, and that's 2 different disruptions, and you do chain links obviously if you want to dodge certain negations, but Tackle Crusader is a really strong card. Flip down any annoying monsters or bounce any floodgates that I don't want to deal with. And the last monster is going to be Zephyros. Zephyros is just broken with all the dangers, and he just lets me keep drawing. With the dangers just let you dig through your deck, which is amazing. So on to the spells. It's going to be 3 Ballpark and 1 World Dino Wrestling. Ballpark's like any time there's a broken field spell, I'm definitely going to be playing a deck based around that. So Ballpark's amazing. The 1 World Dino Wrestling, as I mentioned before, to just have access to Pankratops. To accompany that, I have 2 Searchers, Set Rotation and Terraforming. I'll explain later also with the World Dino Wrestling, but just more consistency. 2 Shaddolls Fusion. I was playing 3 before because Shaddolls Fusion going second is amazing. Gives you so many plays. You could dump Goki Poli from deck, Tackle Crusader, all these little toolbox outs to big boards, all in one card. So if forces and negate, either they do this, or if they let this go through, then like you're just gonna go off from there. I was playing 3, but I cut down to 2, just because there would be certain rogue matchups or different matchups, say like True Draco, where it's just dead. So I wanted to minimize the amount of dead cards. I try to make this as consistent as possible. Same thing, I was playing 3 Slumber, but I cut it down to 2. You don't want a little overkill. This deck could do so much already. So you're not missing out on the 3rd copies of each. You don't want to open multiple copies either. So I found that 2 and 2 is the best ratio for me. And then for the broken one-ofs, Foolish Burial Goods, regular Foolish, Danger Response Team, and Card Destruction. Foolish Burial Goods is what I was alluding to before with World Dino Wrestling. So you could straight up Foolish World Dino Wrestling if you don't have a set rotation or anything, like or Pankratops already. This is a way to get Pankratops directly from your deck. This also dumps a Danger Response Team. And Danger Response Team's like one of my favorite cards. Like, I don't know why they made this card so broken. Danger's inherently gave you so much advantage, but this lets you just play through so many boards because 1 is searchable off Nessie, but you could also send it off of Goods. When this is in the grave, I could discard a Danger from my hand, set this back into my deck, and then draw 1 card, and then the Danger gets this effect. But there's really, like, you could just abuse the Dangers with, like, you could Kaiju your opponent, and then and its on-field effect, I could target one of my own Dangers on the field and another monster on the field, and bounce both of them back to the hand. So I could Kaiju my opponent, and then bounce back my own Kaiju with a Danger Response Team. And once the Danger is back into my hand, I could use its Grave effect and then just keep plussing. So this card, I use it almost every game. It's amazing. Card Destruction just lets me dig for the ballparks. Foolish is any other card in my deck that I need at the moment. So very toolboxy. I'll recap at the end. For the extra deck, for the Shaddolls, I'm going to be playing just 1 Shek and 1 Winda. Winda, I never really make it. It's just in case I need to control the board after I've broken a board, for example. Shek's like any Earth in your deck, Goki Poli, Tackle Crusader, and it's just sending out either Beast or Dragon depending on what you need. It's just amazing. And then adding back a Shaddolls Fusion for your next turn, if it leaves the field or if I link away, it's amazing. For the rank 3s, I'm going to play Totem Bird specifically whenever I have a Terra Top. It takes some ease off of, say, if I'm going at Strike or something, and the first play I do is Terra Top, and I know I have other ways to get Gokipoli. I don't need to make Cherubini right away. I could just make Totem Bird, and then it's another thing that I have to deal with. Or if I just have 2 3s, which is easy with like the dangers like Jackalope and Tsuchinoko and like a Mathematician, different ways to get it. I have another way to clear board, just to clear off the problematic cards. For some consistency, rank 4s, I have 1 Emerald and 1 Dugaris. Dugaris is the most broken card, one of the most broken cards like ever made. I don't know why they made this card. Your duels should be super quick. Your main goal is OTKing, which you could almost do like more than 50% of the chance game 1. But if not, then this helps you just set up. But the whole point of this is that it sacrifices your next turn, but it won't matter if there isn't a second turn. So that's why this card is so broken. Emerald just recycles insects, so you could just keep ballparking them out. For the damage rank 4s, Cowboy for game is like super. Cowboy for game is so broken. By the time you attack 19, 19, 19, maybe another poke with another monster, usually leaves them down to only a couple life points left. Cowboy finishes off so many games for me. I chose this versus I was playing Utopia Double before, like the double or nothing, but double or nothing, one, it's a brick in my deck and I don't want to turn off any engines if I happen to hard draw it, because you're going through your deck a lot with the dangers. And then also, this is just better against Striker, just not having to deal with they're floating, and you're usually able to like play through some back row. So yeah, I think that this is the better choice versus the double or nothing. As for the links, 2 broken links. Cherubini, obviously you know why, any level 3, so it's usually gonna be Farfa or Gokipoli. And then this one, let me talk about this one really quick. This card's awesome. It just requires 2 insects, which you're always going to have with the Ballpark. First effect, you could discard a card and then target another insect you control and equip an insect from your deck to it. So most of the time I could be discarding dangers, discarding other cards I could get effects off of, and then equip Gokipoli straight from deck onto like a spare insect I have. But it's mostly used for its second effect, which is pretty much Emerald for insects. So I target 3 insects in my grave, shuffle them back into the deck, and draw a card. So this helps me just recycle the engine and keep Ballpark live. So there's multiple ways to recycle your engine, which is amazing. Then some generic just removal links. These ones I'm going to change. This is just what I have for now. This could be the BLS link, but it's super expensive. That's the only reason why I don't have it right now. And Underclock Taker, I would cut this for like a Lambda. Something generic. You need just a generic link that just has 2 monsters that point down. So which is going to be Lambda. So I'm going to get that eventually, but who knows if I get the BLS link, because I've been out of the game for a while. But if not, Decode's good for pushing for damage. And then side decks, up to you guys. I love this engine that I side into all the time, because most of the time you're going to be winning game 1. Because you're winning the die roll 100% of the time, unless they make you go first, which is super rare. Any strategy now going second, you're almost guaranteeing a game 1 win. Either your opponent chooses to go first or you make them go first, and then they make up maybe a mediocre board if it's Striker. If it's like a Guard Dragon thing or anything like that, you can still play through it. And then you beat them game 1, game 2, they're for sure going to make you go first. So you side out some of the strictly going second cards for this engine. So Sarah, Rafflesia, 3 Mermelio, and a Dianea. Since we're not playing any other back row, normally people play Mantis, but Dianea is good just because most of the time off of Mermelio I'm going to be searching Treacherous first, and then off of Sarah, when I summon Dianea, Dianea gets back Treacherous, so I'm popping cards like I'm using Treacherous Trap Hole twice, essentially with Dianea, which is amazing. And so I'm playing Treacherous, Tricks, Trap Hole Nightmare, and Floodgate. So I always side this in game 2, almost always, because they always make me go first. And then besides that, you could play Dark Ruler No More, you could play the Rock, Nibiru, or whatever. It's up to you. I think there's a lot more stun now, so I'm just playing Back Row Hate, which is just 3 Twisted 3 Reboot. I don't want to deal with it. If you don't, like, if you reboot and you don't have to deal with any back row for the rest of the turn and you're just strictly playing for free at that point, then you're going to win. Like, no matter what. Like, your monsters are so strong and they could get over any monster board, so all you have to do is worry about the back row and this takes care of it. But yeah, I think this is the strongest freaking going second deck of the format right now. And I just wanted to highlight some of the toolbox cards that I was mentioning before. Tackle Crusaders, broken. Dragon gets rid of anything. Like, you have Kaijus, you have Pankratops. All your dangers just help you dig through your deck. Goki Poli, most broken out to a lot of things like Borload and all these things. Math to get to all of that. Tour Guide to get to that. Terratop to get to all that. Like Farfa. You have monster removal, more monster non-targeting removal, back row and monster disruption, back row. Like, these 4 cards, you're going through like all these for sure, like throughout your game. So yeah, I think this deck is super solid. Let me know if you have any questions or any suggestions. I did see the New Zealand list that topped. Congrats to them. Personally, I'm not trying to be a downer, but I didn't think that could have been the most consistent way to build the deck. I think this way is the best deck. The best way to build the deck is the most consistent, the most starters, the most way to get to your engines. But I think people got kind of like a glimpse of what this deck could do, and I think if you guys give this a try online, see how it is. Giant Ballpark's absolutely broken. That's the whole reason why this deck's able to OTK. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. And this is David from Team Woven signing out.